Hi everyone and welcome to Social 5 University. We're going to be talking about Twitter basics today. So I'm just getting that pulled up and ready to go. And I wanted to just do a quick sound check. Can you guys hear me okay? And see the presentation all right? If you can, go ahead and raise your hand. Or feel free to say something in the chat box or in the Q&A, whatever works best for you. All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be talking again about the basics of Twitter, just helping you guys really understand the simple, most basic things about it so that you can go forward and start tweeting on your own if you'd like. So quick overview of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to be talking first about understanding terminology for Twitter. It's got kind of its unique lingo. We're going to talk about how to optimize your profile. Some easy strategies for gaining followers. Keep it basic, simple, and try and build your audience. Taking advantage of Twitter trends. So the first thing I want to talk about is this Twitter terminology. Again, each social medium has kind of its own little unique way that we talk about it and unique set of vocabulary that we use to describe it. And so here are some of the things for Twitter that are important to know. So the first one is a tweet. That sounds pretty basic, but it is important. Posts on Twitter are referred to as tweets. And that's different from a lot of other social platforms where we just call them a post. On Twitter, it is always a tweet. These are no more than 140 characters long. And if the tweet's been shared from someone else, you're going to see the abbreviation RT on it. That means that that content has been retweeted. Now there's also a little icon that you can see sometimes that means that something has been retweeted too. And basically the point there is that the person is indicating that it wasn't their original thought that they're retweeting. Maybe something they agree with or that they wanted to show to their followers or whatever, but it's not what they said. So that's an important one because you want to make sure you're giving credit to the person who said whatever it was in the first place. So the next one I really want you to understand is hashtag. This one's really important. These are kind of the secret ingredient for what's trending on Twitter, and they're one of the things that kind of made Twitter unique at first. And because these were so popular, they've really been adopted by a lot of other social platforms too. So you'll see hashtags on things like Instagram, on Pinterest, Snapchat sometimes uses them. So all these different other social platforms have really adopted this unique term and started using them. And the whole point of a hashtag, a lot of us think of it as the pound sign from when we were young and we had touch tone phones, right? These are, you're going to see the pound sign with a word or a phrase. And what that does is it makes it so that that is searchable on Twitter. So you might see, a popular one right now is like hashtag election 2016 or something along those lines. So, whatever's trending right now, you're going to see with that pound sign and then a word or phrase. You can also create your own hashtags if you want. Though, if you're trying to get in on what's trending, you want to use some that are already in existence. And then the other thing you're going to see a lot on Twitter is this @ sign. And again, this is one that's starting to get picked up by other social mediums too. Instagram uses it as well. This is how you target individuals on Twitter. So for me, my Twitter handle is Kate Drake. It's K8DRAKE. So if you wanted to tweet something at me, you would put in the @ sign and then to put in my Twitter handle, right? And that way I would be notified that you had said something about me or that you were trying to get my attention. And it allows that content to show up on their Twitter feed. So that's really wonderful because, we use it all the time in our content here because then people who are following that individual or that media outlet or whatever will also see that you tweeted them. So say if I'm going to be linking to an article from the New York Times or something, I'll do an @NYTimes in my tweet so that the New York Times is notified. They probably don't care that I'm tweeting about them because they have such a huge audience, right? But people who are following @NYTimes will see, that will then appear in their newsfeed too, and they'll be able to see that I posted something. So it's another great way of getting your content found and tagging it so that people can find what you're looking for. So let's talk a little bit about how to optimize your profile. To make the most of your Twitter strategy, you really want to start by developing your profile. The keywords and the data that you use are going to make your profile a lot more searchable online. So the first thing you're going to do is log into your Twitter account by going to twitter.com. You can do this from your phone or whatever, but it is a lot easier on your laptop or your desktop for this particular set of things that we're going to be doing. So I recommend doing it from there if you can. Easy to tweet from your phone, you know, easy to do that way. But if you're ever going to do profile stuff, I always find it easier to do it on the desktop. So you're going to log into your Twitter account, and you'll be asked to enter your username and password. Now, if you've had us create a Twitter account for you and you don't remember what those are, that's no problem. Just, you know, we should have sent you an email that has that information in it. But if you can't find that for some reason, just shoot us an email over at support@social5.com and we can send you that so that you can have access to your profile too. Because again, that's another part of our business is while we'll be posting for you, you still maintain access to all your social accounts. So, you know, we'd love to have you hop in and tweet too. So once you've logged in, you're going to go to your homepage, which will appear when you log in. And here you're going to be able to make any changes that you want to your profile. So you can see right here where it's got your cover photo and your profile picture and everything, and all the things that you want to edit. So some of the things that you can do, you can change your profile picture. Again, similar to what we did on Facebook last week, and most other social channels are pretty similar. You just hover over, and when the camera appears, you can upload your photo. You can also change the header to be something that you like. And then you want to add information about your business by clicking the edit profile. You know, you can talk about, you know, your business name, the location, any helpful information that will help people find you. Really important stuff. Put your website in there, right? Another way to get people to draw to your website by putting it right there. So, you know, again, these online profiles are one of those things where you certainly don't have to have every box filled out, but the more information you can provide, the better. It's really going to help boost your business. So let's talk a little bit about gaining followers on Twitter. This is kind of a hard thing, and especially if you're just trying to do it organically, but that really is the best way to do it. So your growth may be kind of slower, but you're going to find more followers who are the kind of people who you want to get for your message. So that's really important. So the first thing we want you to do is you need to find your audience. And the way we recommend doing this is by searching for you know, your competition, any trade organizations that you may belong to, attractions around your city if you're a location-based business, anywhere else that your audience may reside online. So if you know that people who use your business also tend to have this other hobby that they're interested in or something along those lines, you know, follow some of those people too and start looking those things up. So, you know, you want to look for places to visit, you want to look for trade associations, anywhere where people who might be your potential customers might be found. So, and you can do that by using the search bar right there on Twitter. You can type in the name of a business, the name of an organization, you know, a place, anything like that. So once you've identified a competitor, you're going to want to click on their followers. And you can see that right here. So here's a Mexican restaurant chain here that we helped their competitor gain some Twitter followers. And this is exactly what we did. We went on, found out who was following them, and then go through and follow their followers. Because if people want to eat at that Mexican restaurant, they probably would be interested in eating at our Mexican restaurant too, right? And this works for anything. So if you're a car dealership or a you know, insurance agent or whatever, feel free to go out and follow you know, all these people who follow your competition. What's going to happen is that then they're going to be notified that you have started following them, and quite a few of them will probably follow you back. Now, of course, that means that they're going to be following both you and your competition. So that means that you've got to have a good Twitter game going, right? Which is where we come in, and we're going to make sure that you have great content on there and that your page is looking nice and everything. But so this is a great way to gain followers, and hopefully, you know, try and leverage your audience a little bit. Again, you don't have to do it just with your competitors. You can do it with trade organizations, any nonprofit organizations that are nearby, any other businesses that might have similar clientele, that maybe aren't your direct competitor, anything like that where, you might have people who are also interested in your business. Going to be a great way to find followers. And you can see, you can click on that follow button right there, and that's all you have to do. Then you're following them, and their posts will show up in your news feed, and hopefully they'll follow you back and do the same. So another thing we talk a lot about on Twitter is this, the trends that are going on. And we actually have a whole S5U session coming up on Thursday about taking advantage of these trending hashtags and everything. And so to increase the virality of your page and the reach of your content, you're going to want to look for opportunities to incorporate these trending hashtags into your tweet. And again, all the tweets that we put together for you here at Social 5, we're going to be using hashtags too that maybe are relevant to your industry or things like that people might be searching for. So the way you're going to find these is they're going to be at the lower left-hand side of your Twitter page. You can see on this screenshot on the right, they're down there at the bottom. And you can see what's trending right now. And some of them are kind of weird. This is got Harper Lee and To Kill a Mockingbird, rejected candy hearts, replace a letter, ruin a TV show, kind of crazy stuff, right? And these trends change all the time. So it's a fun thing to kind of keep an eye on throughout the day or throughout the week and see what's going on and what's trending and things like that, because they're going to be changing all the time. Now, sorry, obviously they're right there. One thing that you can do is Twitter displays national trends by default. So they're going to show you what's trending across the United States. Excuse me. You can localize those hashtags though by clicking that change button, which is right here. And if you click on that, it will bring up location options for you. Now, the one drawback here is that it does tend to focus on major metropolitan areas. So because I'm here in Draper, Utah, I'm going to see that I can search for Salt Lake, Las Vegas, Denver, Colorado Springs. And basically it's bringing up major metropolitan areas around me. So if you're in a smaller city or something, you're going to have to pick whatever the closest major metropolitan area is, because it doesn't go down too small of a level. So, it's going to be pretty big cities. But that's still okay. It's still a great way to keep a pulse on what's going on in your area. So, the only one in Utah is Salt Lake City, but that's still a good way to keep an eye on what's going on. So you can select that location and you'll see what hashtags are trending in that location instead of just nationwide. And they do tend to be different. If there's a Utah Jazz game or something, we're going to see posts about that in the Salt Lake location versus the nationwide location. So that's really fun too. All right. Well, that's it for today. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for any questions that you guys may have. Again, we've got the Q&A section here, or you can ask them in chat if you have any. Okay, I've got one right here. Oh, sorry. So why do I want to do a tweet, with a hashtag? So the reason that you want these trending hashtags going is because they're what's popular right now and what people are looking at. So if we, so the content that we're going to be putting together for you is going to be taking advantage both of existing hashtags that are popular in your industry. So we'll have those that, people are always searching for. They might not see a spike in popularity that are on that trending topics, but they're going to be standard stuff that people have, regular searches for or that they're following that hashtag. The other thing you're going to see is kind of newsier things that are going on right now. And we try and take advantage of those too. When the Super Bowl was out, we did a bunch of tweets that had the official Super Bowl hashtag. And the reason for that is because people, when those events take place, are searching for those particular hashtags, and it's a way for your audience to hop in and see, or new people from your audience to see your tweet. Now, the reason that we encourage you guys to do this is because you might have something fun to say, or your business might have a special promotion going on or something like that that happens to be around a newsy event or something along those lines. And so that's why we want you to feel free to hop in too and say, maybe there's a trending hashtag that's fun in your industry or something like that. So hop on, do a little tweet about it, include the hashtag, and hopefully it'll bring that to a larger audience. All right, any other questions? All right, well, it looks like that's it for today. So we'll go ahead and sign off. We'll be talking about LinkedIn basics again next Tuesday, and then for our freshman orientation series. And then this Thursday, we've got 2 sessions coming up, one on going further into depth about trending hashtags. So if this is something that you're interested in, you should definitely catch that one. And then we'll also be talking about getting started with Instagram later this week. So both should be really interesting sessions, and we hope you can join us. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.